make 2 pounds of our mini golden potatoes. Next, I'm coming in with 2 cans of our French onion soup that we're gonna pour right on top of our potatoes in our crock pot. Yum. Now we're gonna add a little bit of garlic paste. I would prefer a minced garlic, but this is all I had, so I'm gonna use it up and make sure that we get a good amount of garlic in there. About 1 tablespoon of this garlic paste should be plenty. And before we continue on with this super easy dinner, I'm gonna grab my spoon and we're gonna mix our potatoes with our soup and our garlic to make sure that that garlic gets evenly distributed. Oh, it smells so good already. That soup just has the most incredible onion scent, and I cannot wait to keep this going. So great for a weekday dinner. If your family, is busy all day, you can just set it and forget it in the crock pot. That is the beauty. All right, that looks perfectly well mixed. All right, we're gonna move this to the side, and then I'm gonna bring in my cubed steak. This is a little bit under 2 pounds, and we're gonna add some Dijon mustard. And I know that might seem like a unique flavor palette, but that's gonna make this taste so good. Now, if you don't like Dijon mustard, you can replace it with something else. I'm not exactly sure, maybe like a mayo or something, an aioli, but I love the mustard, and I'm gonna add a generous amount of mustard so we can really coat our cubed steaks. All right, that looks perfect. Now for seasonings, I'm gonna just do Kinder's The Blend, which is salt, pepper, and garlic, everything you need. And we're gonna add a generous amount with our cube steaks. Oh my, that looks perfect. And then we're going to toss our steaks in that seasoning, in that mustard, to make sure they get fully coated. These flavors are just gonna go so beautifully with those potatoes, with that French onion soup and that garlic paste. As you can see, they're getting nice and coated. Just make sure to add as much mustard as you need. You might need to add a little bit more if you feel like they're not coating enough. I think these are beautifully coated. You can go ahead and bring back our crock pot. And now we are gonna place our steaks right on top of our potatoes, just like so. They should fit evenly in a thin layer on top of our potatoes if you have an 8-quart crock pot. Perfect. All right, we're not done yet. I'm gonna grab 1 packet of my onion soup and dip mix. I'm gonna rip this open and we're gonna sprinkle that on top of our cubed steak. Looks so good, you guys. I cannot wait to get this cooking.
My mouth is salivating.
Oh yeah. Now I have 1 onion that I sliced up that we're going to sprinkle on top of this. This is just gonna add to that onion flavor, which I personally love. And just make sure that's spread out on top of your steak so we have another even flat layer. All right, last but certainly not least, we're gonna use our Worcestershire sauce, whatever you call it, and we're gonna add a nice little drizzle of that on top of our onions. This is just gonna add to our steaks, to our potatoes, and everything in that crock pot. But this is ready. Woo. I cannot wait, I'm so excited. We're gonna pop this on high and let those cook. All right, it's been 4 hours on high. Let's go ahead and turn this off. You can put it on 8 hours for low if you need it to cook all day. But look at that, those onions are perfectly cooked. I do have myself a scoop of mashed potatoes, which is gonna go so beautifully with all of these flavors. Let's start with some tongs, get some of those onions on there, and let's get one of our steaks. Oh my goodness, look at that. That looks incredible. We get a couple potatoes, oh my gosh, those are the softest potatoes I've ever cooked. I'm gonna grab some of that juice, some of that French onion, pour that on my mashed potatoes and on the steak, maybe a little bit more for the steak. All right, let's give this a check. Let's try those potatoes first. I know potatoes with potatoes call me crazy. Look at that, perfectly cooked. And let's get, oh, you don't even need a knife.
Fell apart.
Okay. It's gonna be really hot, but really delicious. All right, those were my 9 eggs in my silicone muffin tins. Next, I'm gonna come in with some bacon bits, and I'm gonna sprinkle on some bacon bits on about half of these little eggs. Now, I am using the whole eggs because that's how I like my eggs, but you can scramble these if you prefer. And as far as meat goes, I'm using bacon on the first half, and then I'm gonna use ground sausage for the second half. All right, and then just like we did with the bacon bits, we're just gonna add a scoop of that. These muffin liners are perfect because they fit the egg and all the extras. Don't these look super delicious? Such an easy and delicious air fryer breakfast. Now with my bacon bits, I'm gonna add a little bit of red onion because we do need to get some veggies early in the morning. Keep it healthy, keep it light. This is gonna be so delicious. But just like with the meats, you can do whatever veggie you like with this. You could do some bell peppers, you could do some chives, you could do whatever you like. with our sausage. My husband loves mushrooms, so we're gonna add some diced mushrooms to this. Oh my goodness. And you can even saute these veggies beforehand if you prefer them a little bit more cooked, but I kind of like them to have a little bit of texture, so that's why I'm keeping them raw, and they'll cook a little bit in the air fryer. Yum. All right, and then I have here Kinder's The Blend, which is salt, pepper, and garlic, and we're gonna season this whole entire thing with our seasoning, and you can even add some fresh garlic or whatever you like to this, but I think these are gonna be so delicious. Now the only thing this is missing, some cheese. Now for that bacon, I'm gonna add some sharp cheddar, and you can add as much or as little as you like. It's gonna create a nice little toasted top of our little egg bites that really pulls everything together. I am so excited to eat these. For our sausage, I just had this Mexican cheese left over in my fridge, so I'm gonna add the Mexican cheese to the sausage ones, but you can use whatever cheese you like, a mozzarella, a white cheddar, a Swiss. I think a Swiss would be really good on these mushroom ones, but I didn't have any, so the Mexican cheddar is gonna be just enough. But that is it. Our little individual easy breakfast in the air fryer is ready to start cooking. We're gonna turn this on. We're gonna set our air fryer to air fry. The temperature is gonna be 350, and then the time is gonna be about 10 to 12 minutes. We'll check it at 10. All right, we're actually gonna stop this early because look at these. Oh my goodness, they cooked perfectly. So that was about 8 or 9 minutes instead of the 10 to 12. And let's go ahead and grab these. I'm gonna start off with one of each kind. Oh, they look so good. And the best part about the silicone is they just pop right out. Oh my goodness, look how good those look. Let's go ahead and turn them over. Woo. Woo. And then I'm gonna top mine with some sriracha. This is obviously optional. And then let's cut into these. Oh, look at that beautiful runny yolk. That is exactly what I wanted. Obviously, you can cook it for a little bit longer if you don't want it as runny, but I think that's gonna be incredible. Oh my goodness. That is so good. You guys have to try this. All right, we're starting off with 36 ounces of our cauliflower in our crock pot. I have here 16 ounces of sharp cheddar that I grated myself because we want to make sure it gets nice and melty and shredded. And we're just spreading that evenly on top of our cauliflower. We got to mask that healthy flavor. Just kidding. But this is going to be such an easy, cheesy, delicious lunch or dinner, whatever you want to make it for, that everyone will love. So we're getting that whole 16 ounces of cheddar in there. And you can use whatever cheese you like, Colby Jack, mozzarella, but I love cheddar for this. Now I'm coming in with some cream cheese, and we're putting 2 blocks of cream cheese right on top of our cheddar cheese for this delicious dinner. Now I have some thick cut bacon that I cooked up, and we're gonna grab our bacon, grab a few pieces at a time. I'm gonna use about 6 slices of bacon for this, and we're gonna chop up our bacon right into our crock pot, right on top of that cream cheese. Oh my goodness, I mean cheese, bacon, cream cheese, cauliflower. I think you guys can get the vibe. It is gonna be so tasty. This is one of my husband's favorite dishes because you sneak in your veggies in there, but it tastes amazing. Okay, let's go ahead and get the rest of our bacon in there. All right, so I actually ended up using 8 slices of cooked bacon because the more bacon, the better. Last thing we're gonna add to this is some diced jalapeno, and this is 1 large jalapeno without the seeds to make sure it's not too hot, but we're gonna add all of that jalapeno right on top of that. Oh yeah, just a few ingredients all in our crock pot for this delicious meal. I'm so excited. All right, now this is ready to start cooking. We're gonna go ahead and put our lid on, and we're gonna pop this on high until this is nice and ready. All right, we're at the halfway point with this, and we're gonna give this a good mix to make sure our cheese doesn't burn. But that cauliflower still needs some extra time to cook, and look, some of that cheese hasn't melted yet, but that cream cheese is already on its way, but you can tell that things are getting stuck on the side, so we gotta make sure that you give this halfway mix so that everything gets evenly cooked and evenly distributed. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. I cannot wait for everything else to get ready because it smells incredible.
Yum.
All right, that looks mixed well enough. We're gonna go ahead and put our lid back on and let this finish cooking. All right, it's been 3 hours on high. We're gonna go ahead and turn this off, and I mixed it after each hour, so I've mixed it twice already. Oh my goodness. Our cauliflower, bacon jalapeno, mac and cheese, that's what I'm calling this, is looking incredible. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to try this. Just giving it one last stir. It smells amazing. That cauliflower is beautifully cooked. Obviously, you could do this recipe with real noodles, but this is gluten-free, it's healthier, and it still tastes amazing. Oh, yeah. It smells so good. I'm just gonna top this off with a little bit of dried chives. This is optional, that's why I'm gonna put it on the side for my guests. And then I have another slice of bacon that I'm just gonna crumble right on top as well. Okay, that looks perfect. Oh. Right, it's gonna be really hot, but really tasty. I'm gonna cut my cauliflower in half so I don't get too big of a piece. Oh, that's perfect.
Is it good?
That is so good. Oh my goodness. Wow. You guys are gonna love